This is the Saros 10R Robot Vacuum and Mop from Roborock. I brought it home a few weeks ago, set up the dock, and let it roll through every room. Right away, I had a few worries. Pet hair everywhere, kids dropping tiny toys, cables under desks, and whether it could actually get under low furniture. From my experience, the Saros 10R eased most of those concerns faster than I expected. Let me start with the look and build because it affects how it cleans. The Saros 10R has a clean matte black finish and a super low profile, about 3.14 inches tall. In my opinion, that height matters a lot. It doesn't have that big spinning LiDAR dome on top, so it slips under my couch, sideboard, bed frame, and those low shelves that used to gather dust bunnies I could never reach. It uses LiDAR that's tucked into the body, so it still maps accurately without blocking itself from tight spots. If you've ever watched a taller robot bounce off a cabinet toe kick or get stuck at the edge of a sofa, you'll notice the difference right away. Obstacle avoidance is another reason I kept using it daily. Key features like Roborock StarSight System, basically a front camera plus sensors, and their VertiBeam tech help it see and classify stuff on the floor. Obstacle avoidance just means the robot recognizes objects and routes around them, instead of pushing or eating them. Shoes, pet bowls, power strips, phone cables, stray socks, it steers around all of that for me. I've got 2 dogs that leave chew bones everywhere, and it avoided those without drama. If I had a complaint, it's that tiny Lego pieces tucked tightly into corners can sometimes sneak by. Even then, I had far fewer stoppages and error beeps than with my old robot, and it mapped everything from hallway runs to underbed areas with surprising accuracy. Cleaning power is where I felt the biggest upgrade. The suction is strong enough that, along certain carpeted parts of my hallway, it picked up more hair and grit than my manual vacuum did in a quick pass. From my experience, the DuoDivide rollers are doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. They're twin brushes with a split down the middle, which sounds small, but it changes how hair behaves. Long hair doesn't wrap as tightly, and the debris gets pulled into the center channel and up into the bin. I used to spend a chunk of my weekend with scissors cutting hair out of brush rolls. I haven't done that routine since the Saros 10R took over, and that alone saves time and frustration. Now for the mop. I used to think robot mops just dragged a damp cloth around. This one is more thoughtful. It has a FlexiArm Riser, which means the side brush and mop can extend outward near walls and corners, so the sweeping and wiping reaches deeper into the edge. Older bots often miss that zone. It also detects carpet and automatically lifts, then even removes the mop pad so it won't wet your rugs. That matters when your living room rug meets hardwood. No soggy edges, no weird smell later. One more detail I didn't expect. If the robot senses the water it used got too dirty during a mopping run, it tells itself to go back and mop again. I've got a high-traffic kitchen, and on days with muddy paw prints, it actually makes a second pass and leaves the floor looking much better by morning. The dock is the part I interact with the least, and that's a compliment. When the robot finishes, it auto-empties the onboard dustbin into a bigger bag inside the dock. I'm not dumping a handful of hair into the trash every day. The dock also washes the mop pads using hot water and then blow-dries them, which helps cut down on musty odors I used to deal with on older mop systems. I refill the clean water tank and swap the dust bag as needed, usually about once a week in my case, and the detergent gets mixed automatically. It's not totally set and forget, but it's close enough that I don't have to babysit it. The whole setup has been much more hands-off than anything else I've used at home. If you're new to this kind of product, the app is where you tell the robot what to do. You can set schedules, save multiple maps for different floors, and draw no-go zones to keep it out of, say, the kids' Lego area. I created a pet zone around the dog bed so it pays extra attention there, and it actually works. Voice control is built in too. It connects to Alexa, Google, and Apple, and there's a Hello Rocky assistant if you want to talk directly to the robot. There's also a camera on the robot. I use it to peek in on the dogs when I'm away. It can even send a quick photo if it spots them, which is more fun than necessary, but still useful. Noise matters in a real home, and I'm impressed with how quiet it is on normal runs. I've had it clean overnight, and it didn't wake anyone. It also handles thresholds between rooms without getting hung up, which keeps it from stopping halfway through a job. The mapping was precise enough that it navigated under a low bench and still found its way back around table legs without banging into them. It's not flawless. On thick, high-pile rugs, it grabs most of the debris, but I still do a spot clean here and there if there's stubborn fur. Heavy messes sometimes need a second pass, especially in front of the back door where the dogs track in dust. The side brush that extends near walls is great, but under extremely tight furniture, it doesn't always deploy all the way. Setting up the first map also took some patience. The more complicated your layout, the more time you'll spend tweaking rooms and paths. And yes, the price is higher than basic models. If you just need light maintenance, something simpler might be enough. Even with those quirks, I keep coming back to how little maintenance I do week to week. The low profile lets it clean places that used to be a chore. The obstacle avoidance keeps it from choking on cables or toys. The DuoDivide rollers mean I'm not on the floor with scissors. The dock keeps the pads clean and the dust contained. And the remop logic has made my kitchen floor genuinely cleaner on busy days. In my opinion, the total experience is what you pay for. Less fiddling, more consistent clean. Key features that really stood out to me are the low-profile design that actually reaches under furniture, the StarSight obstacle avoidance with VertiBeam tech that prevents annoying jams, the DuoDivide rollers that reduce hair tangles, the FlexiArm Riser for better edge cleaning, and the multifunction dock that auto-empties, hot washes, and dries the pads. It all adds up to a system that I don't have to think about much, which is the whole point for me. It's perfect for pet owners, busy families, and anyone with a mix of hard floors and rugs who wants a quiet cleaner that can run while you sleep. From my experience, the app tools like no-go zones and multiple maps are a big help if your home has lots of furniture and tricky corners. I'd recommend this for people who value automation and don't want to constantly detangle brushes or hand-wash mop pads. If you live in a small studio with minimal mess, you might not need all of this. If you've got pets, kids, and furniture with different heights, this feels like the right pick. In conclusion, the Saros 10R nails the daily routine. Strong suction, smart avoidance, real edge cleaning, and a dock that actually reduces chores. It's not the cheapest option, and it's not magic on the thickest rugs, but it's been reliable, quiet, and thorough across my home. I run it at night, wake up to cleaner floors, and spend less time fixing jams or cleaning the machine itself. That's exactly what I wanted. If this video helped, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own tips in the comments. Thank you for watching.